Peter, what's your thoughts after that one today?
Excellent workout again. I think the weather played a big part in today as well. It was quite hot and tough for the players, which is what you want, because when we were looking at building up to the season, you want players to be put under that bit of pressure. The more minutes we're getting in for the team, and the weather played a big part in that as well, because it's quite draining. But apart from that, I thought that some of the play that the passing and the play and the phases of the way we worked was excellent. We've hit the post twice. Had numerous chances. Their keepers made some great saves. He's an experienced keeper, so it was a good workout. But the frustrating side of that is that we've lost the game 1-0 from an uncharacteristic error. But unfortunately, it's the same if we go back to the Clyde game. There's a couple of errors in those for goals, so we need to cut them out. But it's still early in the season, so. There was more positives today with the players than the relationships that we had in there with the likes of Reece Lyon getting his first game in. He looked really strong and fit in the way he was working with the midfielders. Matty Douglas that was playing, thought he was outstanding again. He was on the end of everything in the opposition box, winning some headers. He pulled out a trick that I haven't seen before as well, so he must be learning something. And on the other side, defensively, he's winning everything in the air as well. And I think the younger players around are learning from him as well. So, plenty of positives. The forward players, the forward going players. I think Kai Kennedy, if the fans came along and seen some of the stuff that Kai Kennedy was doing today, they'll go away, talking about him and what he can do this season. But we have to tie that all together, and learn to win games, because that's the other side of it. But yeah, plenty of positives, but we lost the game.
Is that the overall feeling of pre-season? I know obviously the first game was a 7-0 against Abbeyvale, but that's the last of the pre-season game today. Your assessment of pre-season as a whole?
I think coming in initially with the numbers that we didn't have, because there was a few injuries that we had from the players we inherited from last season. There was the likes of Reece Lyon that had a little bit of an injury to start off with. We had some of the younger players in that have stepped up from the 18s, the Queen's development side. So we're looking at them. So from where we were at the start to where we are now, we're miles apart. There's loads of encouraging signs of how we've worked together in the shape today. And the Morton game, even as I said about the phases of play and everything that we've been working on, good, but we just need that end product. So we're still learning, still developing, but we've managed to bring players in, lead players into the training. Some players back from injury. We have Daniel Church now be training with us again. He started training with us at the start. He trained for about a week and a half, I think it was. Got an injury. He was out for about 3.5 weeks or 3 weeks. So we should have him back on Monday. The likes of Jack Bryden should be back soon. He's just waiting on to see a consultant about something, but he should be back within the next week or the week after. So plenty of things building up for the right time of the season. And we hopefully maybe have a couple more players in. You've
had trialists in as well, and then some of the youngs, you see the ones from the 18s moving in. What's the situation with them?
Well, we had I think we had 6 players to start off with, and they've been with Queen's for a number of years. So it was when I took over, there was players that hadn't got deals. I think we had the Tanner Fund, which is something we're looking to try and recreate in whatever way, if it's a Tanner Fund again or another form of that. And the Barflies, that I believe they put money towards the younger players to give them a chance of a 2-year deal, to give them a chance, just like the Lewis Gibson, Ben Johnson, who we're seeing now with us. Lewis Gibson's moved on to Wraith, and we had Jay Kennedy from last season, who's gone to university, I believe. Jay Burns.
And Finlay Kennedy.
Sorry, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they gave them the opportunity over that 2 years to develop. So now we're giving 3 players the same opportunity for that, the 2 seasons. Unfortunately, some players will miss out, which, they've been with the club for so long, and those players that miss out are the likes of Andy Oram, who was unfortunate that he's come in, but Ben Johnson's the same age as him. Ben Johnson's just that little bit ahead of him, and we have a lot of midfielders already. So it's not a fact that Andy Oram's not a good player. He's a very good player, but I believe he needs to go out and create his own career in the game. So we wish him well. We had Shay Marr as well, who he came in did really well again, but again I think his opportunity would be restricted. And then Cammy Bryson is another one who has come in and done really well, but Cammy, he's such a big boy now. I think he's grown up and shot up only a couple of inches maybe in the last few months, which may have affected him, you know, physically. But where we are with the training, we need players to be right and at it, and hopefully Cammy and O'Shea and Andy stays at the club and works out in the reserves, but maybe they won't. So we'd like to wish them well whatever they do. But we have 3 players that we've offered deals to, which is Harry McLinden, Ewan Ross, who in pre-season has done really well with the team, and Mark Thompson. So we're hoping they look forward to developing and being in around the first team for the future. Maybe be loaned out depending on the way things work out, but that's where we're at with those at the minute.
And Matty Douglas captain today, is there?
Yep, Matty was captain. So I think I said in a previous interview that we had like the likes of Harry Cochran was a captain here last season. Reece Lyon, who we brought in, was a captain at Kelty Hearts, and Matty Douglas. So 3 captains from their respective teams which they've come from. I asked those players to get in a room together and have a discussion of who they believe should be the captain of Queen of the South going forward. And Harry Cochran, I believe, was instrumental in saying he's quite happy for Matty Douglas, with the way Matty Douglas plays, to be the captain. Reece is the same. Reece Lyon will be vice captain, and Harry Cochran can enjoy being that footballer that he is, you know, without that extra pressure on him possibly. But I think any one of them could have been the captain, and we have other players on the park, which is great. So yeah, we look forward to that working out well. But if, you know, Matty's not playing, Reece will be the captain and Harry will be the vice captain. So I just need leaders on that park.
It's just at the end of the day, it's about going out there and playing as a team, and that shows that they're sitting there together as a team to make that decision. Exactly,
they worked it out themselves rather than, you know, me saying you're doing this, you're doing that. It's not a dictatorship. The players come to that decision, and I'm delighted that they did. But again, so going back to my playing days, I was captain and then I was not captain, but I still went out and played the same and gave everything. So I'd expect the same from any player. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops over the season, but I'm sure it'll be very good.
The season, as I say, pre-season's finished now, and the real work start. Well, I know it's real work, but the main fixtures start next week.
They do, yeah. Tough game to start off with, but I'm sure the players and the fans will be looking forward to coming, because it'll be a good spectacle on the night. I believe Aberdeen have requested 2,000 tickets, and are nearly sold out with that. You know, hopefully we've got a big following coming as well to see where the players are at and how we do. So I would urge all of the fans to come out, support the team, and try and get us a good result. Try and help us get a good result, because the old cliche is that 12th man. Let's see what we can do.